Welcome to episode 20 of Trad Takes. As always, we're hosted by the traditionalists. Please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, and if the comment's good, I may start out next episode with it. Going straight to the comments today on the topic of fat shaming and whether it would be okay for a government to do this to its citizens in the name of health. We have a comment from first-time commenter, I believe, Country Mickey, who says, I was in 4th grade when they weighed us in phys ed class and posted everyone's weight for all to see. I was overweight and all the kids made fun of me and some called me awful names. I don't know why it was done, but it has lived with me all my life. No one cared about my weight until that day. I just became a number. Please homeschool. Thank you for that comment, Country Mickey. I agree with the please homeschool part. Brendan says, when I was listing off the ways people can be obese using a simple BMI measurement, I was saying stacked, ripped, and jacked as colloquialisms for being very muscular. And he rightly tells me that I missed a couple, and those are yoked and shredded. Thanks, Brendan. Marlelar 9547 says, government should stay away of our body weight. I agree. And then finally, I liked this one. It's I love cats, I just love cats, 3944. Blushing. On 1.0 speed, you talk really slow. But when I speed up, then you sound normal. Please advise. Well, part of me thinks that maybe something's wrong with your technology, but part of me realizes maybe I just talk too slow. I'm sorry, I don't go Ben Shapiro speed. I don't want to go Ben Shapiro speed. And sometimes I like to emphasize controlled pronouncement of every word. So I'm sorry, but if you have the technology, speed me up to 1.5. I'm certainly not going to start talking faster. I don't think I could if I wanted to or if I tried. I've been talking this way for almost 40 years now, so it is what it is. Thank you for the comment. On to the news. I'm going to start with some good, interesting news that I hope brings joy to most of my listeners. The one big, beautiful bill that's currently going through Congress that Trump is pushing for has a lot that's wrong with it, if I'm being honest. But one of the things that is right with it, and that I'm very happy is in it, is a movement to defund Planned Parenthood. Planned Parenthood is obviously maybe the leading abortion provider in the country. And they don't just kill babies, they also do mutilation of minors and anyone who needs these so-called gender transition surgeries or gender reassignment. So for years it's been receiving funding through Medicaid. And many states have spent years and a lot of money suing to remove Planned Parenthood from their Medicaid programs. That is currently going to the Supreme Court. But the beauty of Congress doing its job is it can pass laws and remove Planned Parenthood federally from all states from Medicaid. And so in this bill that has passed the House barely and is now going to be put in front of the Senate, it does actually remove Planned Parenthood funding for the vast majority, not a clear slate, not everything, but a vast majority of abortions and gender transition surgeries. So that is great news. The words big and beautiful don't typically go together when it comes to bills going through Congress. It is big, that part is definitely true. I would debate whether or not it's beautiful. I think there's a lot that it doesn't do that it should do, and there's a lot that it does that it shouldn't do. But this would be a silver lining. If it does get through the Senate, if it does go to Trump's desk and he signs it, then we can rest a little bit easier in this country, knowing that our tax money is not going to pay for abortions and gender transition. So that's good. Moving on, I want to talk briefly about tariffs again. And again, not the tariffs as policy, but the tariffs as constitutional. The way Trump has levied these tariffs lately, without using Congress, has been by declaring a national emergency as a pretense to author tax policy on all imports. And that never has been constitutional. That's always been unconstitutional. Congress has not challenged it or acted against it, as I believe they should have, because there's a lot of Trump sycophants in the Republican Party who care more about image and being on Trump's side rather than doing what's right. Regardless, the story here is that a group called the Liberty Justice Center brought a lawsuit against the tariffs, and that lawsuit succeeded at the U.S. Court of International Trade. And 3 judges, 2 of whom are conservative or put in place by conservatives, one of whom was Trump, unanimously ruled and agreed that Trump's tariffs are unconstitutional, that he can't simply use the International Emergency Economic Powers Act to bypass Congress. Now, whether or not you agree with the tariffs, I know probably a lot of my listeners think they're a good thing. I don't happen to be one of them, but I'm a fan of disagreement on non-religious matters. Whether or not you agree, I think it's good to see people not always marching in lockstep with their quote-unquote side. Right? This isn't a sports team that we're all fans of. I like Trump. I like a lot of the things he does. But when he does something wrong or does something dumb, we need to call him out for it, especially when he's laying the precedent for future presidents. If we can't challenge Trump on doing something unconstitutional, why do we think we can challenge a President Gavin Newsom in 2028? The American presidency already has too many powers, already has more power than was intended by the framers of the country and the Constitution. So let's take this opportunity while we have him on our side, quote unquote, to reduce the size of government, to reduce the executive power of the president. Again, I like Trump, but watching him go on Truth Social and just rail against good, well-meaning, disciplined conservatives for telling him no when he oversteps his bounds, it makes it harder for me to like him. And if I just shut off my brain and say everything Trump says is right on and everyone who's against Trump is evil, well, I'm no better than the left, who is shutting off their brain and seeing everything for Trump is evil or everything against Trump is good. I've often called the left like brainwashed zombies, right? Because they're people who watch their MSNBC or CNN, parrot the talking points, are all for whatever the national news was for, and all against Trump or against the Republicans or against conservatism. And now I'm seeing the exact same thing on the right. People who can't think for themselves, they just parrot whatever Fox News says. People who don't do the research, they just read Trump's tweets and then get mad at whatever Trump is getting mad at. Let's be better than the left. Let's not just be another copy of the left that happens to be right on more of the social issues. It's frustrating. I'm grumpy. And I think that's all I'm going to do for today. God bless you all, and God bless these United States of America.